Hello everyone, I'm Tana and this is LuvinEveryStitch. It is currently June 22nd, which means the last thing I have filmed and still haven't edited together or posted was filmed on June 12th. So it was a very busy week because our baby shower was last weekend, or this weekend I should say, on Saturday. And as you can probably tell, I'm still recovering from all the fun, all the socializing, and the travel, because it took a lot out of this pregnant mama, because I've also officially started my third trimester. So as of Friday, I am 28 weeks pregnant, and that means, you know, like I said, the beginning of the third trimester, which means baby girl is going to be here very soon. So she's still due on 9/11. As of right now, nothing has changed, nothing's been shifted, but she might be early, she might not be. So I have a lot of editing still to do. So I don't know how much we're going to get for this next week's vlog because of the amount of stuff I need to edit together to post something, period. So I'm hoping we can get a lot done in this video because there's still quite a few projects that I want to accomplish for my mom, because she's added a couple things to her list, including what's currently on the hook now, which I'll show you in just a moment, and a lot of things that I have come up with that I want to do either for the business to get it ready for, you know, the transition into being a new mom and being able to get things done and accomplished. And then there's also a lot of work we need to do to get the website ready for that. So I think that's the biggest things, the biggest updates, other than what I'm currently working on. And there is still some more yarn that I need to show you that was purchased, because while mom was shopping for the baby shower, she found some yarn on sale at Hobby Lobby, so she picked up a couple more colors for her Oak and Marlowe friends. And there's a couple little things that I need to show you that is cotton yarn related. I think there's only two that I've not shown you yet, and one is for the project that I'm currently working on, and one is currently at my feet. So we'll go ahead and start with the project that's currently on the hook. So if you watch Passionate Kelsey, this bag will look very familiar to you. So this is an extra large Rocco bag in multiple colors. So we have Peacock from Loops and Thread, Aqua from Loops and Thread, and then this color is one of the colors I needed to show you. So this is Sea Breeze from Peaches and Cream. Just have that shoved up there so I know what color it is. And we've used this much of this cone thus far to get that much of the bag done. So there's plenty left for other projects. And a little funny story about when this was delivered. We ordered this from Walmart, and Walmart does delivery. So my mom, of course, lives out of town in comparison to where I'm at, about 2.5 hours. So she had it where my Walmart brought it to me, so I would have it to finish this bag. And, you know, they give you a time frame of when they'll show up, and they said it would be around 4 o'clock. So I was like, well, it's around 4:30. I've not heard anything from mom, so I'll just go check and see if it got dropped off, because sometimes she gets busy and not able to let me know when the notification came to her. So I locked the girls downstairs just long enough for me to open the door and check, just so they don't try to run out and things of that nature. And I scared the poor delivery driver. He was literally in the process of taking the picture to show that he delivered it correctly. And he kind of jumped real big, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I just got a notification recently that, you know, it should be here soon. So I just wanted to come check, and sure enough, you had it. So he just handed it directly to me. We both giggled about it and went on about our day. So that was funny. And then there was one more delivered. This one was, I think, from Amazon. So we ended up ordering my baby shower dress off of Amazon as well. So this came with it, not necessarily in the same packaging, but within the same delivery. So we also have, I think this is, yeah, Potpourri from Lily Sugar and Cream. And yes, it is a full cone, not been touched yet. And she does not know what she wants made with this one yet, but this is a color that she's loved forever. And if Lily Sugar and Cream is being discontinued, she didn't want to miss out. So we went ahead and got a cone of it just in case. But But that is all the cotton yarn that you don't know about just yet. And then back to the bag. This other color here is also loops and thread, and this is just going to be for the straps. And this is seafoam. So at first we were just going to do these 3 colors. Well, first it was going to be this color and then these 2 colors, but Mom didn't like that being such a jump from this color to this color. So then we found this cone to make it a little bit of a smoother transition. And we're going to do just the straps of these, which is the only thing I have left to do. So I'm on the 3rd round of the outside of the strap, and then I still have the inside of the straps to do. So that shouldn't take too long. It's just quite a few single crochets and a little bit of patience. So I'll definitely get that done. But before we do that, I want to show you the Chanel haul. So the Oak and Marlowe family has grown quite a bit and is going to continue to grow, because I don't know if I've mentioned this in the past, but the reason Mom wants all these is not only because they're cute and adorable and she wants them for her own collection, but because she wants to be able to play with them with baby girl. And yes, I didn't make any of them, quote, baby safe, but when Mom and her are playing together, she'll watch her very well and won't let her pull it out with her mouth, things of that nature. So I'm not too worried about it because it is more for Mom, but with the intention she can also play with them. So I'm not too worried about it. But these are the colors. I'm just going to go ahead and put them on the couch next to me so I can put them back in the bag, because we're not going to use them just yet. But all of these are from Hobby Lobby. These are the Adorable. So just like the sandstone that I've been using, these are the just different colors of it. So we have Sun Gold, apologies. We have Pink Aboo, Mint Charm, Light Sage, and last but certainly not least, Brown. Very creative, very creative. So those are going to be used in some of our Oak and Marlowe babies, which are currently on the list. And if anyone's worried why I'm wearing a brace, this is just for protection. I have not overworked myself, thank goodness. This is just so I won't, because Lily Sugar and Cream is a little stiffer. So I like to wear a brace just for preventative measures, so I don't end up hurting my wrist. Because I don't work with it very often, and you have to hold it a little different to get to work out. So this is just so I don't fatigue my hand. Not because it's currently hurting. But I think that's enough rambling for now. And I will get things taken care of for you guys, and hopefully we'll have a good week. Hello everyone. It is currently Wednesday. The reason I didn't film any on Tuesday, aka yesterday, is because I took the time to go ahead and edit vlog number 3 and get it posted. And that took a lot longer than expected. So while I edited, I worked on the Rocco bag some more. But on Monday, I did end up finishing the extra large one. And as soon as, and ignore all the tails, I will be sewing them in. I just didn't feel like it yet. But I got the extra large one done first. So this is the one for my mom. So this is the one that started the addiction. It's the best way to put it, because I've made quite a few and I plan to make one of each size at this point. So this is how it turned out. And it looks a little funky right here because it is one of those 3D bags. So it's going to sit more like this once it's full. But obviously it's not full. So that's how it looks. So you can see the 4 different colors, because we ended up using that lightest color for just the straps. So all that color will, or all these colors have been used at least once. And usually I charge Mom, a discounted rate for, buying the materials and, because she's my mother. But for this one, she got an even more discounted price because I had a lot of these colors left over. Because with the cone for this color, there was quite a bit left over, of course. And then they're just using this for the straps and this very little bit for the bottom. There was quite a bit of these colors left. So I gave her even more of a discount if I could use the colors for a smaller size. So this is the extra large. I'm gonna put it back here. And then I started and finished, well, I started this Monday night and I finished it while I was editing yesterday. So I made a medium size of the exact same colors. So everything is the same except for the size. So this is the medium. I am absolutely in love with it. I think it turned out so pretty. And it's a decent size still, even though it's a medium. Like, you can fit some yarn in there, maybe some books. But that one is identical, like I said. And then I decided, you know what, let's just make one of each size, because there are still these colors left over. And the medium one will be posted on the shop once I get all the tails weaved in and add a tag to it, which I've not showed you those tags yet. I should probably do that in one of these clips. Maybe not right now, maybe later. But since my mom wanted the extra large size for herself, and she's going to be a Lovey soon, because that's what she wants her grandmother name to be, I decided, which she has no clue about this yet, and I'm not going to tell her for a little bit, to make the extra small size. Now, I inverted the colors just for funsies. So this was going to be just stashed away in her extra large size. So, you know, her grandbaby can have one that somewhat matches. Obviously, she's still in my tummy, so she's not going to be able to use it for at least a year or two. But, you know, it's a cute toddler purse size. So I just have to finish the straps, as you can tell. So I just have, I think it's 2 more rounds on the top and then 3 on the insides. And then this one will be done. So this is what I'll be working on after that. So then that just leaves a large and a small size. So I'm going to make that in the yellow that we were talking about. But one thing I didn't tell you is after, you know, deliberating with my mother, we decided that the dark yellow was gorgeous, but not quite right. So we did another bad. So Michael's had another good yarn sale, and for the 6 that I got, it was only $12. So we did another Michael's pickup order. I dropped one, hold on. For the color, I think it's banana? Yes, the color banana. And it matches much, much better. So we got 6 of these as well. So, and if you're curious in comparison or forgot and didn't watch the last video, these are the colors. I still think the 3 of them together is stunning, but this is definitely closer to what's in the skein. So we have 6 of these, 6 of these, and 6 of these. So we have tons and tons of beautiful yellow to do things with. But I'm definitely going to make a large and a small yellow market bag. And those will be for the shop as well, which I desperately need to work on getting things on the shop. So that'll also come in time. It's a beautiful day today. I should probably be in the office taking pictures, but I genuinely don't feel like it. So we'll see what happens there, because that's something that desperately needs to be worked on, and they need to be also posted on Instagram and stuff. So that might be something we work on. Probably not. I'll probably sit here and work on bags, because I want to do a picture where you lay out every single size on top of each other so you can see the size comparison. Even though 2 of them won't be on the website, for sale at least, I'd like to show what those sizes look like in comparison and then make a listing for them. But we'll see how that works out, because I know I use GoDaddy for my website. I know they recently did an update and it's a little different on how you set up your products and things like that, so I'm gonna have to relearn that. So that's gonna be fun. But I think that's enough rambling for today. So I'm gonna finish the extra small size, and then I'm gonna go to the large and then the small. I don't know how much of that will actually get done today, because it's around 12 o'clock, but I've fed myself. I am sipping on some caffeine, and I am keeping to the minimum of 200 milligrams of caffeine a day, even though it's a struggle because baby girl still don't let me sleep very well, because she is moving up a storm. And yesterday, as I was editing, it felt like she completely did a 180, which baby girl has been breech every single time that we've gotten a scan, so I would prefer her to start being head down very soon, since I'll be 29 weeks on Friday. Excuse me, this pregnancy is going by way too fast. Like, I'm so excited to meet her, but what do you mean it's already almost over? What do you mean I've already had my baby shower? After a loss, it almost feels like it goes 10 times faster. If anyone else can relate to that, please leave it in the comments. If I'm just crazy, you can also leave that in the comments, but it's just insanity. But yeah, that's what we'll be working on. I think this one's my favorite one thus far, just because of the way the colors look, and it's just so small. And it took absolutely no time. Like, I started this yesterday evening, and it took maybe less than an hour. And I think it took only that long because I made a mistake and I had to do it again. But yeah, that's enough rambling for this morning, or for now. And I will see you later today, maybe, if I get some more stuff done. We will see. Oh, one last thing. This fell out of the yarn haul earlier in the video. So we also have burnt pumpkin to go with the Oak and Marlow babies. I wanted to show you that because it literally fell on the floor and I didn't see it. So that is also one of the colors that goes with the Oak and Marlow babies. Now that's enough rambling. Hello everyone. It is Thursday. Yes, Thursday. It is around 12:30. And I don't have much of an update because I got extremely distracted yesterday. And as we've talked about my flaws in the past, I got all the way to the point of these straps, meaning like 3 rows on each side of the strap on this purse, before I realized, oh, that's way too thick of a strap. Why would the designer have you do that? The designer didn't have you do that. I didn't read the pattern yet again. So I had to pretty much frog almost the entire strap situation. And by the almost the entire, I did have to take out it all and then go back and fix it the way it should be. But now it's stunning. Of course, you know, the ends are still sticking out everywhere because I'm going to do those all at once. And it's beautiful. We love it. It looks great. But that took a while for, you know, me to realize I was wasting my time. And then I had to go back and fix what I had wasted or had to frog. So then I got this far in the large size purse, which I'm, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm on the 5th row of the sides and you need 7. So I'm about a quarter of the way done with this one. Well, more than a quarter, like 2 to 3/4. So I just have a couple more rows of the sides and then the strap on this one. And I'm loving how it's turning out. It's giving me buttered popcorn vibes. I don't know why, but I love that. But as I was being very distracted yesterday, I scrolled through Pinterest, which anybody that's been in the crafty realm for a while knows that Pinterest used to be the OG place to get all your crafty ideas. Some people still utilize it. Some people say, no, it's not as fun. And I think it's called Lemon now, which I never looked into. So I'm assuming it's about the same thing. But anyway, I was scrolling through Pinterest, and something that you may not know about Zach, or Mr. LuvinEveryStitch, whatever you want to call him, he loves rubber duckies. It is his absolute favorite thing. So if you have a spirit animal, his is rubber duckies. And he loves the bucket hats I make, especially the cotton ones. And recently we've given him a haircut because he usually has really thick curly hair, but it's been 90+ degrees here. So since the baby shower was over, I was like, I will shave your head. It'll be perfectly fine to keep you cool. So he likes to wear the granny square bucket hats. I think it's from, I always get her username wrong, but I've linked it in a past video because I've talked about them in a past video. He loves the granny stitch ones. But scrolling through Pinterest, we found a rubber ducky bucket hat. And it does go all the way up to adult sizes. So we're going to pivot and we're going to get that done first before we finish the bag. And I know it's bad to, you know, start a new project when you're that close to finishing another one, but at his job, Fridays are casual Fridays. So he wants to be able to wear his rubber ducky shirt and be able to wear his rubber ducky bucket hat, excuse me, on his walks, because he has a little walking group with his company or with his friends, co-workers, whoever you want to say, at his work, and they walk 2 times a day. And it's going to be pretty hot the next couple of days. Plus also, you know, we just shaved his head and he has a very pale scalp right now because it's been covered with hair all summer already. So we don't want him to have a sunburnt head. So might as well just get it done. Shouldn't take too long. It looks like it's a bunch of double crochets and then a little detail on the front. So happy accident of overbuying this amount of yarn, because I only need maybe 2 to do the straps of the bags that I want to make with this, and there's 6 of them in total. So I'm hoping, based off of the information in the pattern, we're only going to need about 2 of these, is my assumption. Maybe 3, he's got a little bit of a bigger head. But we're going to do this for the main part of the hat, and then probably this for the beak. Hoping it's going to be different enough because it's just a small oval that makes the beak, and I do have black cotton yarn that I can use for the eyes, but I don't think that really matters because it's just 2 slits to make the eye detail. But we're going to be working on that, and then we'll get back to the bag, because, you know, Zach doesn't ask for a whole lot when it comes to crochet stuff, and, you know, I like making bucket hats, so it's a perfect excuse. So in the pattern, and this is by vibewarm.com, according to the little water stamps all over everything. She used cotton yarn. She used 1 ball of lily sugar and cream. But this also has child, toddler, adult size as well. So I don't know if it's just going to be 1 for the adult size, because I'm thinking it's going to be like 1.5 to 2. But it is also done with a 4.5mm hook, so we might get by with just 1. But we're going to try to do this. I'm going to hopefully do more updates than just, hey, this is what I did or did not get done the next day, because Zach is working a little late again tonight, so we will have plenty of time to get this done, and hopefully I can film a lot more, and hopefully I won't get distracted on my phone as much today. The ADHD has been really bad because I've not been feeling the greatest, because baby girl is just taking all of my energy, which she can have it. I'm perfectly okay with that. I'd rather her have it and her be comfortable and be doing well in my tummy than her not taking it and me be full of energy and something be wrong with her. So if I complain about anything with the pregnancy, please always add that caveat to the end, because as a mom that's had a loss before, any and all complaints should be turned to gratitude, and I'm working really hard to try to do that, because I'd much rather me be in extreme pain and feeling like garbage and her be perfectly fine than her not being there, period. So if I complain a lot, please just ignore that, because it's been rough. Baby girl has been putting me through it, but I'd rather her put me through it than not exist. So we're gonna stop complaining. We're gonna find a 4.5mm hook. I think it's all the way over there in the corner, so we're gonna have to go dig that out. And we're gonna get this ducky hat completed, or at least try to. So I'll probably come back when I'm done with the increases, because that's when the modification of the sizes start. But I won't say too much about the pattern because it is a free pattern, but I also don't want to get in trouble for giving too much information on a pattern. I'm still very new to posting things, so I don't want to break any of the unspoken and spoken rules of the crochet community. So I will probably be back when we have the top of the hat at 7.5 inches, because that's the first step, is basically increasing to that point, because he does have a larger head, and I did measure 7.5 is what we need. So we will see you then. Okay, so it's only been like 10 minutes, if even, and I actually read through the pattern because, you know, I've been fussing about it a lot, and I'm looking down at the pattern, and it's looking sketch, but I think we can make it work. And the reason I say it that way is because it says use single crochets, but then the picture itself shows double crochet. So what they're saying should work, but the stitch information's incorrect. And then when you scroll down further, there's multiple pictures and none of them look right except for the initial picture. So we're going to make this work, we hope. If not, we might just have to write it down ourselves. We will see. But wanted to hop in and give you that little update. Okay, so it's been quite a bit later. It is currently 3:01 and I've not gotten very distracted. So that's just to show how much this has taken, because the more I read, the more I realized this pattern was not written by a human probably, which this is the second time we've had this issue since posting these vlogs, which is crazy, but yet again, not going to go into it. But thankfully, one of the pictures was actually somebody crocheting this, and the picture itself is actually crocheted. So I'm not sure what's going on here. I know the post itself is probably someone stealing someone else's content and using it to make whatever this post is. And I looked on Etsy, can't find a pattern for it. I looked on Instagram, can't find a picture that matches this. So I don't know what's going on. But based off of the little bit of information that is correct, I'm using my own crochet knowledge to make this work. And I am writing down what I've done. I'm obviously probably not going to release a pattern for this because obviously someone created this. Someone wrote an actual pattern for it. But I've just not found the information on it. So if you're a good internet sleuth, please help me figure this out. And if you find an actual pattern, please link it below or just message me directly so we can figure this out. Because if I don't find anything, I would be perfectly fine with releasing this as a pattern. But anyway, that's enough talking. We have gotten it to the 7.5 inches like it needs to, and I've done one row around. So this is not stretched and it fits me just fine. And if it stretches out to Mr. Zachary's head size, it'll be perfectly fine. So now I'm basically trying to figure out how many rows it's going to take to get to about the top of the ear. His ear is obviously going to be a little lower down, so I'm probably going to go to about here. See how many rounds that is, write it down, and then figure out where to go from there. Because I think the brim is going to be the hardest part to make sure it's not too ruffly, because, you know, he is a male. He does not care too much for the ruffle. But he wants a little bit because that's what a bucket hat looks like. So we'll see how long it takes me to do that because, like I said, not gotten super distracted, but it has taken me this long to figure this out because that math ain't mathin'. So if there's not a pattern linked below, it's because I'm not linking whatever the heck this is. But if I find an actual pattern for what this is supposed to be, I will link it below. But so far, I'm just winging it. But yeah. We'll talk to you in a little while. Alrighty, so it's been about another hour. And in that time, I also tried to look for a pattern. I even enlisted my mom to see if she could find the pattern. And, oops, sorry, finger in the way. And we were not able to find anything. So I think I'm going to do one more row. Maybe 2 more rows. And then the brim, because I want to make sure there's enough space for the face, but I also don't want it to go down too far. But I also know his head is bigger than mine. Granted, one of his favorite beanies is literally sitting right there, so I might compare the two. But yeah, it's fitting me well, but will it fit him well? That's the question. This has used up almost a full skein. We've got a very little left, and I just put on my brace just because cotton yarn is not very great on the hand. Just the way I have to hold it makes like this finger a little sore if I don't have a brace on. It's just the way I hold the yarn because it's thinner, because I'm used to working with thick stuff like that. And I've not done a lot of this stuff in a while, minus, you know, what I've been doing. So yeah, that's the only update I can come up with. I am still writing down everything I am doing, just in case we cannot find an actual pattern for this, but the picture is actually crocheted, so this is somebody's idea, and I don't want to get in trouble for stealing it, or, you know, coming up with a pattern with it, and then later on someone, you know, claps back, hey, that's my pattern. Because I'm not a pattern designer. I just like other people's patterns usually. But I am writing it down, so if someone else wants to order one, I can recreate it. But if you find it, please put it in the comments or message me directly, because I'd love to give the person credit, but it's obviously not whoever this is on Pinterest, because it's obviously stolen content. But I can't find the OG, and if it's not stolen content, then they didn't write it down very well. No tea, no shade, I just don't want to gyp another artist. And I'm just using my own brain power to make it work out. So that's enough rambling about it. I've said plenty about the situation. But that's about it for now. It's what we've got so far. See how much longer this will take, because I didn't think it would take this long already. But, you know, with a snack break and some investigating, it happens. So, we'll talk later. Alrighty. It is about 4:30. I took another snack break because, you know, third trimester hunger is for real. And then I compared this to the hat. And that brim usually goes around his ears, so I think it'll be perfect to start the little, I guess it's also a brim, for like the little ruffly part that shades his eyes. So that's about 13 rows, 7 for the increase, 8 through 13 straight rows. And then I'm going to work around in the back loops to get it to start to stick out, and then increase from there. I think I'm only going to do about 3 rounds. 3 rounds for the ruffly part should be good, and then we'll work on the face. We'll see how long that takes, because it's about 4:30. Zach still has some work to do, so he won't be home until probably closer to 7, and then I'll feed the girls in the next 30-40 minutes. So we should be able to get at least the base done before he gets home. I hope so, because I'd like him to try it on before I solidify everything, but we'll see. Bye guys. Alrighty, it is currently 6:20. This is the current state of the hat. I think this is where I'm going to stop, because of course it'll be stretched to fit his head a little better. And this is not stretched whatsoever, because I never stretch my hats until the person that's either going to buy them or is intended, like the present is intended for, wears it, because I feel like it morphs to their head better, if that makes any sense. So I'm not going to snip this until he's home to try it on, just in case we need one more row of brim, or just in case it doesn't fit whatsoever and we got to start from scratch. But I think it'll be perfectly fine. So we're going to continue to play around with the face, and by continue I mean start that process. So I need to make a little oval for the beak, thinking putting it right above the brim, and then it just has 2 little slits for the eyeballs. We might see if there's something better to do with that, or if we're just going to leave it at that. But yeah, that's what the hat's looking like thus far. So I purposely have the camera covered, because this is the last update on the ducky hat, unless it doesn't fit and it goes horribly wrong when it's on his head. But I'm in love. Look at it. Look at it. It's so derpy. So simple. I love it. And I've already gotten it approved from the husband. He says it's adorable. He likes it too. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it fits. And if it does, we will cut and sew this last in over here, and we will be done with the ducky saga. But if anyone finds the original creator of this style, please let me know. If not, I'm going to give it about a month, maybe 2, and we might be making a hat pattern. I don't know. I'll keep you posted, and you keep me posted. We're in this together now. Ducky Saga, or Ducky Bucket Hat Saga 2026. How will it go? We will see. That is the last update for tonight, because I will probably continue working on my Rocco bag if I have any more energy left. If not, I may just fiddle on the phone until the husband gets here. We'll see. But yeah, I'll talk to y'all in the morning. Bye. Hello, everyone. It is Monday, I think June 29th. So we have gotten a lot done in the last little bit, but I have not filmed a little bit. Sorry, my stuffing bag was in the way. And the reason for that is because this weekend I had some plans with friends, wasn't feeling the greatest, and you know, it was just a long day. So the last we talked was on Thursday. We did accomplish Zach's little ducky bucket hat. I'm hoping I will have a cute picture of him around here in his bucket hat. He wore it, he loved it, everybody at work loved it, so we were able to accomplish that. Since then, I have made one of every size of the Rocco bag, so an extra small all the way up to an extra large. 2 of them are for my mom, so those will not be on the shop, and then the other ones will be added to the shop eventually. And I do want to make another extra small and an extra large, because those are the 2 sizes that will be going to her, in different colors, so they will go on the shop. And none of the ends are sewn in at the moment because I have to edit this video probably tomorrow. So I'll probably do all that at one time, just because I don't like editing videos and I don't like sewing in tails, so might as well get the misery over together. But before I show you all of these, if you think back to one of my earlier vlogs, and if you haven't watched it, please go watch it, we did a yarn haul for these bags, or for the biggest bag for my mom. And she allowed me to use what was left to make these little bags. So these were 6 skeins and a cone of various teal colors. So we have this much of the cone left. This is Peaches and Cream and Sea Breeze. So there's about that much left, so quite a bit left. This is all that is left of the 2 aqua skeins. This is Loops and Thread. Get a little closer so you can see how little it is. This is all that's left of the Loops and Thread aqua. And then on the small bag that I literally just cut the end off of a minute ago, I won Yarn Chicken with this much peacock left, and I have a whole nother skein of peacock. So we might end up doing an extra small, or maybe even an extra large bag in these 2 colors. Haven't figured that out yet. We will see. But I wanted to show you how much was left over after doing these, and of course that is with my tension and a size 5 hook, so you might get different results. Put all this back over here. But that's enough rambling. Let's see these bags. So the extra small is, as you know, advertised, is very, very small. Probably fit a handful of things for a small toddler. Like I said, all the tails are still sticking out. We'll deal with those tomorrow. So we got a Slate Ombre. So we have the aqua, the sea foam at the bottom, then the Sea Breeze aqua, and then the darker color. Very cute, very cute. So that was the extra small. And then the one I just finished and just won Yarn Chicken on. This is the small. All unrolled, there we go. This is the small. So in comparison, relatively different. So we have the aqua at the bottom, Sea Breeze, Sea Foam, and then peacock. Yep. And then we have a medium, and this one matches the extra large perfectly. So we have the peacock at the bottom, the aqua, sea breeze, and then the sea foam. And this is it compared to the small. If I can grab a hold of it. So that's it compared to the small. Okay. And then this is the only one that is not in the aqua color scheme or the teal color scheme we've been using. And this is the large. So this is, I think it is, let's see, color name, it's Lily Sugar and Cream Daisy Ombre. And it used, I think, 2 of these, 2.5 of these, maybe 3. Let me see, let me look at all the tails. So it looks like 3.5, 3.5, 2.5, 2.5. I think 2.5 for the base, and then not even a full one of this. And that color is Loops and Threads Banana. And this is the large, and this is in comparison to the medium. Maybe, possibly. Here. Let me put them back to back so you can see them a little better. So this is holding the magic ring to magic ring, holding them upside down. So you can see the difference in size. So it's a little bit wider, a little bit taller, straps a little bit longer. So those are the difference. And now the big Mama Jamma, I've already showed you once, but we'll show you again. This is the XL. And the reason I'm showing the different sizes is because I'm going to offer all these different sizes, but I haven't decided if I'm going to do these made to order. And you can choose your colors, or if I'm just going to keep making them because I really enjoy making them. And then you decide which one you want based off of size and color that's available. And that's it in comparison to the large. So it is much larger. Well, let's do the same thing where we do magic circle to magic circle. Here we go. It's magic circle to magic circle. That is the size difference. We'll flip it upside down again. So quite a bit of a size difference. That's enough rambling about the bags. So all of those ends will be woven in tomorrow as I'm editing this video and getting it posted for you. I'm not sure what time it'll be uploaded, but you will see it when it's up there. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Any and all of the comments that I've asked you to leave in the comments, please add them below. And if you don't have any answers to those questions, let's go ahead and add some kind of beach emoji. Let's say like a seashell, if there's a seashell emoji. Just because those are going to be perfect for little beach bags or even market bags. So you can even do a piece of fruit. So I will respond to all those emojis down in the comments. And I think that's about it. I do have an idea where I want to do a how much yarn I can use in July. So that'll be starting here very soon. I don't know how I'm going to do it quite yet, but we have been going through quite a bit of yarn making these bags. So I have like little tidbits that I could finish up, and there's a lot of little yarn labels laying around from June alone. So I'm going to keep track of how much we can get done in July because we still have Mom's List to accomplish. And I would like to get some more things posted on the website, so there's going to be a lot of downtime where I'm taking a bunch of pictures and be fiddling with stuff as I do it. So yeah. Because the goal for July, by the end of July, I want my entire inventory on my website. I don't know if that'll happen, but that's the goal. And to keep track of how much yarn we use in that same month. I think those are 2 pretty decent goals to have for July. Now, all of this could potentially get railroaded because there is something happening behind the scenes that I'm keeping my mouth shut about until it happens, because we're praying about it really hard and we know it's going to happen. Ignore Dolly in the background, she's having a ball. But if and when that happens, you guys will be the first to know, because it will affect all of these plans. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I love you. Dolly the crackhead behind us loves you, and Jesus loves you immensely. So we just want you to have a great and blessed day, and like, subscribe, comment below, and follow along this crazy journey, because we'll see what else we can get into, because that was a lot of bags. And now Pepper's joining the fight. So let's get off of here before there's more dog background noise. Bye, guys.